The House of Lords backed legislation that could stop the UK from striking trade deals with countries on human rights grounds. It comes amid growing concern over China's oppression of the Uighurs in Xinjiang. Here's NTT's Jane Werrell with the details.
To demonstrate that there is a genocide.
A moving debate in the House of Lords on disturbing topics, crimes against humanity and genocide.
This all-party amendment is a modest attempt to break the cycle of hatred and violence which will otherwise lead to more suffering by innocent human beings.
Brought forward by Lord Alton, his amendment to the trade bill gives UK courts the power to determine if a nation has committed genocide, and if it had, Parliament would be required to debate its next course of action. In moving speeches, several peers drew parallels between concentration camps in Nazi Germany and the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in China, emphasising action, not just nice words.
And remember that all it takes for evil to triumph, as Edmund Burke said, is for good people to be silent.
The amendment passed the House of Lords with a majority of 359 to 188. It will go to the Commons next week.
We do lead in this United Kingdom. We can be a force for good around the world, for prevention, and I hope that this House will allow the House of Commons to reflect on this properly.
Trade Minister Lord Grimston says trade doesn't need to come at the expense of human rights, but he added that there are issues with the legislation.
But we must proceed without amending the delicate balance in the Constitution and the role of the courts, no matter how terrible these issues are.
It's a view that's frustrating numerous lawmakers.
We have a government policy that only a court can decide on genocide. Then we have an amendment giving our High Court a power to decide on genocide, but the government says it's not effective.
An amendment that would have automatically revoked UK trade deals with countries found guilty of genocide didn't pass in the Commons last month, but it was very close. In the Commons next week, the government could be facing defeat. Jane Werrell, NTD News, London.